Alright, hello everyone. Welcome back to the new edition of this channel, Adeayor. In the last edition on the crucial analysis on how to win basketball, we actually won we won 18 odds, and from that 18 odds, I actually extracted 5 odds personally for our private class members. So I edited it out. Unfortunately, the 18 odd came out so well. So the secret there is just that in this edition, in most of our crucial analysis, we always include the risky line and the safe line. So it now depends on you if you want to keep this risky line, or if you want to remove it, or you want to remove some safe line. So that is the purpose of you following up on each process of each match fixtures. So there are some match fixtures that sometimes our risky line will be very good based on the data that we are getting, because we have the process of analysis. So if we look into a particular game and we feel like, okay, this particular match has high probability of coming out so well as over point, and the line that the bookmakers are providing for us is not favorable, so there is high probability that we are going to remove out those games, or we can leave it. Now it depends on you if you want to edit it out. So in this edition, we won't waste much of our time. We are going to look into some of the games that we have, because currently basketball games, we've not been getting so many games on it. So, and this NBA summer league, we won't include it, but we are going to start our analysis from USA, WNBA, and some other women's league. But I want you guys to take note of something. Women's league in basketball, there is this kind of inconsistency in it, but we also have the men's league that we will also look into, including this particular New Zealand league. So without wasting much of our time, let us quickly look into the first game that we have under the USA WNBA. So if you are just joining us, just make sure that you subscribe to this particular channel, and make sure that you drop your comment in case you have any question. The first thing that you need to always look into is the start of the game, and that is the head-to-head new. Under the head-to-head new, that is where you are going to get the average point of the two teams that are involved. And don't forget, what we always look into in the average point is that the average point of the two teams must be higher than the league average point. But looking into this particular match, you can see that the average point is smaller than the league average point. The current league average point of the WNBA, USA WNBA, is actually 170, and it was 171 before, and the average point of these two teams is 167, I think so, yes, 167, yes. So before we can predict a basketball match as over point, the average point of the two teams involved must be higher than the league average point. So for this particular game, we are going to skip it. Let us look into this one and let's see what we have there. Okay, so this is perfect. Looking into this particular match, you can see the average point. This is 172. It is kind of higher than the league average point. And looking into their last previous games against other opponents, I'm looking at it. I don't think there is this kind of consistency that is really there, but we can also consider this match as over point. But if I want to look into this, my risky line is actually 174, despite the fact that the average point they have is 172, and my safe line will be 164. So 174 is our risky line if you want to take the risk of going for this particular game. But if you want to play safe, we are going for 164. So the bookmakers are providing us with the line of 174. For them to be giving us something sweet like this, something is behind this. Maybe there's a particular factors that can actually hinder the outcome of this particular game, as over 164 or over 174. But you can see we have extra points left that we can also look into. So now it depends on you if you want to play extremely safe or you want to go with the normal safe line. So we are going to with 164.5, which happens to be our safe line. And if you want to go for some other extremely safe option, you can actually go for that. So let us check some other games under the Australia League, that is their women's league. In Australia, the inconsistency is very, very high, most especially the women's league compared to that of the men's league. But let us look into their data. Alright, so we have a good data here, 177.5, okay. At least this one is higher than the league average point. So if I want to take risk for this particular game, based on the average points and some average points scored and considered by these two teams, I will be going for 151 if I want to take risk. But if I want to play safe, that is 141. And the secret behind my risky line and the safe line is that if I'm able to get the risky line, I always subtract 10 from the risky line, and I assume the outcome as the safe line. So now if I want to take risk, I'll be going for 151, and this happens to be the 151, the risky line. But unfortunately, we don't have the save line because you can see the safe line is 141, but the bookmakers are not providing it. So if you want to take the risk, you can go for the lowest option, which is 147.5. But now it depends on you if you want to leave it or remove it. So 147 is still kind of very close to the risky line, but now it depends on you if you want to remove it or leave it. So let us look at this one. This is let us check. Okay, at least the average point is kind of good. Is higher than the league average point. So if I'll be taking risk for this particular game, because looking at their consistency level, because Australia League sometimes they can score up to like 200 points and sometimes they'll be scoring under points. So if you want to take risk for this particular game, you can actually go for 151, and if you want to play safe, you can go for 141. Now let's see if the bookmakers will provide us with the option or the odd line. Risky line 151, save line 141. Depends on the ones that you want to go for, or depends on the ones that the bookmakers are limiting us to. So this is the limited line that the bookmakers are providing for us. Our risky line is 151. We can't have it. Our safe line is 141. We don't have it. So this particular game is useless. It's useless. Let's remove it. It's useless. So let's check another one. Let's check North, the Northern League for the women. Okay, so this is another good game. The league average point is higher than the two teams average point is higher than the league average point. So let's assume that I want to take risk for this particular game. I'll be going for 159 if I want to take the risk. And if I want to play safe, automatically subtracting 10 from the risky line, then you'll be getting 149. So 149 is our safe line, 159 is our risky line. So it depends on which one you want to go for. But what we are currently looking at here, our 159, the bookmakers are not providing it for us. 149, they are not providing it for us. You can see the odd line is very, very high. So this particular game is kind of useless. You can see the lowest odd line they are currently providing. So this game is useless. Let us skip it. So let's check the next game. This is a bad data. Bad data. You can see the average point of the two teams is lower than the league average point. So this kind of game is not really good for playing as over. Most times I always predict it as under, but for now I don't really engage with under points. Let us look at another league. And that is one thing about women's league. The inconsistency is always very high. Okay. So this is 167, a very good data based on the fact that it is higher than the league average point. So we can actually consider this particular game as over points. So if I want to take the risk for this game, I'll be going for over 152. And naturally, you should be expecting that if I want to play safe, I'll be going for 142. So let us check the odd line. What the bookmakers are currently providing is higher than the risky line. So we are limited with options. So this is bad. I don't think we can't go for this game. We can't go for any other option. This game is useless. the bookmakers are limiting the line. Let's check this one. This is a bad data. The two teams average point is actually lower than the league average point, but let's say we want to consider it, maybe probably we want to take the risk. I can actually take the risk of going for it as 153, and if I want to play save on it, I can play save as 143. But if they are not providing the line for 143, the best thing is just to skip it. So they are providing the line for 153, but for the 143 you can't find it. Just skip it. If you now like, you can actually include it in your own sleep actually, but so let us check the men's league. Let's check the men's league. Okay, so the average point is higher than the league average point. Yeah, this is a good data, a very good one. But if I want to play, if I want to take the risk, maybe probably the bookmakers are not providing us the save line. I'll be going for 159. That is the risky line. So naturally, you should be expecting that the safe line will be 149. So let's check it out. So the line for the 159 is 1.7 odd, and the lowest line that they are providing us is 1.41. So if you not like, you can actually remove it because our safe line is supposed to be 149. But if you can take the risk on this game as 159 at all of 1.7, you are good to go. So let us check some other games and let's see what we have. So this happens to be one of the very bad data that we have on the list. The average point of these two teams is lower than the league average point, so let us just keep it. The inconsistency will eventually reflect. So check the head to head. This is another bad game. The average point is almost all the data that I'm seeing. The average point is actually lower than the league average point. So there is high probability that the inconsistency can reflect. So let us just skip this one and move on to the next league. And let's see if we are going to get something good there. Okay. Wow. This happens to be a very good data. 207. That is the average point of these two teams. So it is far bigger than the league average point. It's a very good data. And if I'll be taking risk on this particular game, I will actually be going for something around 189. So you should be knowing that if you want to play safe, that should be 179. But the only issue here is now is that with the bookmakers provide us these two odd lines, the 189 and 179. So the risky line is actually based on some other factors. So this is the line for the 189, the risky line, and for 179 we don't have it, but we have something that seems to be very close to that, which is 181. So you can actually consider this, but if you don't want to consider it, you are free to remove it. So but I'm going to leave it in my own sleep and let's proceed to the next game. So what I always consider whenever I want to look for the risky line is just that I always find some other factors like, okay, if these two teams, okay, we have a good game here, a good data. At least the first thing that you need is to make sure that the average point of these two teams is higher than the league average point, and you can also consider the strength of both teams. There are some teams that where the kind of pace that they use in playing. So the risky line of this game is 194. So the save line is 184. So there are some games that their pace will determine the kind of risky line that you will give them. So if you are going for games that they are using fast pace, then you should be expecting more points in it. So our risky line is supposed to be 194, but unfortunately the bookmakers are very wicked. This is sad. Despite the fact that we have a good data for this particular game, see the line that they are providing us. They are not even providing us the risky line. Not to talk of the save line. This is bad. We don't have the 194 line, and we don't even have the 184. So this is bad. And this game is a very good game for over points. So we are going to skip it actually. So let us check this league. So let us check the head to head new. Let us see what we have there. Okay, so this happens to be another good data. The average point is high, good, and I think we have a good consistency here. And looking into the strength of these two teams, the best thing if you want to take the risk for it is 183. So if you want to play safe, automatically it is 173. So 183 and 173. 173 is the save line. So unfortunately, the lowest odd line is 186 and we are looking for 183 for the risky line. That is, if you want to take risk, 183. If you want to take risk, they are not providing it. And if you want to play safe, this thing is bad. You have to skip this. Let's run away from it, please. Let's check the next game. I believe by weekend we should be having more games to actually look into, because most times during the weekdays we don't always have enough games to actually look into for our crucial analysis. So if you want to go for this game, the average point is higher than the league average point. It's a very good game for over, so we can actually go for 179. So if you want to play safe, you can go for 169. Yes, we can actually go for 169 for safe engagement. So 179, we have it as 2.10 odd, and our safe line is supposed to be 169. Let me check. So we have it exactly here. Oh, the 169 happens to be the lowest odd line. So there is high probability that by the time you'll be selecting your game, people might have been going for that particular options. So if you don't engage with it on time, there is high probability that the bookmakers may delete the lowest odd line. So looking at this particular data, so this happens to be the first time I'll be seeing something like this. The average point is actually equal to the league average point. Actually, I can't see that we should actually skip this game. So this is 183. So I can't say we should skip it. So let's say I want to take the risk on this particular game. Let's say we are going for over 182. So if we want to play safe, that should be 172. So let's see the options. So for 182, this happens to be the option 1.7, or was this? And we don't have 172. What the bookmakers are providing is 177. So it depends on your choice now. If you want to leave it, you can leave it. But I think we probably be leaving this one on my sleep. So if you want to remove it, by the time you'll be taking your own games, you are good to go. You can remove it. So let's see what we have here. This is a bad data. The inconsistency. You can see the average point of the two teams is lower than the league average point. Let's remove it. Let's skip this one. Let's check this one. Let's check the next league. So you click on the head to add new. Okay, so we have a good data here. At least the average point is higher than the league average point. So this is a good game. And looking into their consistency, I'm concerned about it. I'm concerned about this. But let's say that we want to overlook it. Let's say we want to overlook it. If I'll be taking risk on this game, I'll be going for 187. And if I want to play safe, I'll be going for 177. Now it depends on if the bookmakers will provide us with the line. For 187, you can see 1.46, and it is very worst that we don't have 177. So that is bad. That is bad. Now it depends on you if you want to remove this 187, but let us try and go for it. So looking into the next game, let us check the head-to-head new. Okay, this is a very good game for over points. The average point is very high. The second halftime point is also very high. The first quarter point is also very high, except for the first quarter point, which is low. If I want to take risk for this particular game, I'll be going for 192. But if I want to play safe, I'll be going for 182. Now let's pray the bookmakers provide us with the lowest odd line. So we have 182. For the safe line, the risky line is 192. So if you can take the risky line, you are good to go. And if you want to play safe, you are good to go. So the risky line is actually 1.5 forward, 1.6. And unfortunately, we don't have the safe line, which is 182. Now it depends on you if you want to remove this particular game or you want to leave it. So it depends on you. So let us look into this one also. This is a very bad game. This is a bad game. Don't forget the factors we always look into. The average point of the two teams. Because that average point speaks a lot about their consistency in that particular league. So it is very important to consider that. Look at this particular match, for instance. And Australia happens to be a league that score points very well. They score points very well. But let's assume that you want to be taking risk for this particular kind of games. You can actually go for 183 based on some of their factors that I consider later. And maybe you can go for 183 or 181. But if you want to play safe, the best is just to go for 173. If you want to play safe, go for 173. I am having these feelings that these two teams, they play a fast paced style of game, but unfortunately there is a high probability that they will fail to score so many points. Now you can see that the safe line they are not providing us, which is 171 or 173, and so far they are not providing that particular line. It is very useless. Or a game that is not actually that did not qualify to be in your sleeps for over points, and they are not even providing the save line option, so you just have to skip it. So let us look at some of the games that we have under this particular New Zealand. Let's just check the stats. This is a very bad game. Checking their consistency. Let's remove this one. The average point is very low. It's very low. Let's check the next game. The average point of this one is also low. But if we are to take risk for it, I'll be going for 182. But if I want to play safe, 172. But the problem here is that if they are not providing the lowest odd line for 172, this is 182. And for 172, they are not providing. We are having 174 here. We don't have 172. I think it is useless for them not to be having 172. Let's just remove this one. Let's forget it. Alright, so I think that's all for this particular edition. Just 8 games. With just 8 basketball games, we are able to get 31 odds. So these particular 31 odds include both risky and the safe tips. Although most times we always boom our risky line sometimes, but most time what I do is that after getting the risky line, I always do further edition on most of these particular tips. And also don't forget to like our video, subscribe to this particular channel, join our Telegram platform. That is where you can also engage in our prediction process, the process of our prediction, whereby we use our prompt to generate the possible score of a particular game. So we use our insight to do further analysis on some of these particular games to know the possible outcomes of them. So we always provide options on most of these particular possible outcomes. So it is now your responsibility to vote for the ones that you feel like it is the best. Although most of these particular game happens to be games that we always expect to come out so well. Most of the options, all the options, they are expected to come out so well. But it is now your responsibility to also engage in the process of booking most of this particular code. Don't forget, no strategy is 100% accurate. Make sure that you engage responsibly. So see you guys in the next edition. Bye bye.